Last weekend, we saw the video of Dare Art Alade's family's Range Rover burning to ashes on 3rd Mainland Bridge.
Damn.
As thankful as we were that no lives were lost and hopeful that the God who provided it will provide an even better one, what struck me were the reactions. Some pointed out that if 10 cars had stopped with fire extinguishers, it could have been contained. Maybe they were right or not. That line of thought brought to mind similar tragedies, too many of them, where lives were lost because no one intervened. I recently saw a video of a man who picked up an unconscious stranger by the roadside, drove him to a hospital, but the nurse refused to attend to him, claiming they had no gloves. And then, of course, we remember the heartbreaking story of the co-founder and CTO of Bumpa. People still speak about how the system has made Nigerians too afraid to help victims. There are no proper investigations, no forensics, just wild accusations. I put it to you that you killed Mr. B simply because you brought him in dead on arrival. I'm not here to throw blames or call names. I'm here to ask, when did we lose our humanity? Nigerians are not selfish. We're not. We're known for our kindness, our sense of community, and our ability to support each other. But what happens when every institution designed to protect you fails repeatedly? When hospitals can't help, police cannot be trusted, and justice is only for the wealthy. People retreat. They see others not as brothers and sisters, but as potential threats or liabilities. Let's stop excusing indifference with "na condition make crayfish bend." The system is broken, yes, but we must not let it break us. The cultural shift back to care, accountability, and communal responsibility must begin with us, especially those of us who still have some form of clarity, platform, or even power. To fix Nigeria, we must fix how we see and treat one another. Until we become our brother's keeper again, we remain a nation in free fall.
So, thanks for this advocacy, but it's a very complicated issue. The issue of kindness is or lack of it is a global problem. In advanced countries, you help someone and they can blame you for exacerbating the condition. They say, oh, the way you move the person, the spine shifted this way, and then you are faced with lawsuits forever. What you are talking about here is a very real problem, especially accident victims. Unless you are actually happy to dedicate like 2 or 3 complete days, you know, to answering police questions and harassment. You know,
2 days, weeks.
Weeks. So you see, that's why I said it's a very complicated problem. You see, people actually want to help, but if you pick an accident victim today, after we speak now, and take to the hospital, they will link you to the police, and the police will... All they need to do is to take your phone number and your contact details and allow you go. Maybe they need to ask some questions. How did you find the person? But nobody needs to waste any of your time. But that is not what is obtainable here. And when you say every institution has failed, I'm coming to road safety later. I'm focusing on road safety today, and we're not going to let them off easy. You know, those other claims that I mentioned where they will say, why did you intervene when you didn't have the expertise? They know you can call for help. And when you call for help in relatively good time, help will arrive.
Absolutely.
Here, road safety is busy looking for fire extinguisher that they could not use on 3rd Mainland Bridge. For the car you mentioned, looking for a triangle, rather than going to do emergency
for
triangle in people's cars. I'll come back to that later. So that's the thing, the institutions have failed. And see caution.
I think one of the part of the advocacy that struck me is when you said we must not let it break us, right? I think that's broken me. Yeah. I said there's something to come and fix me back. Yesterday night I got back home by 1 o'clock, and it was raining. I just like few distance from my gate, I saw somebody. This is like 1 a.m. just sitting down on the floor. I asked myself 2 questions. If this person need help, like, come down from my car like this now. Some guys to pull up from different places.
You don't need help.
I'm like, nope. Open my gate, drive inside, lock my gate, went back upstairs, call my gate back. There's somebody outside, please check and look and see if. I said, here the guy is talking. I realized that he was drunk. Okay. And I ended up there. But I wasn't about to get out of my car to save anybody because I don't know what's going to happen. Same thing has happened to me before where I was driving and I saw this, late at night, this big stone, like huge stone in the middle of the road. I'm like, I saw it, I moved away from it, so I parked. And I was going to move it away because, you know, the next person might not see it. Yeah. Hey, God. As I was getting close to the stone, I started moving it by myself. I just ran back into my car. So apparently,
It was a trap.
It was a bait.
it was a trap. So how would you know the difference? They're different. Like Nigeria is so unsafe that everything is a suspect. Everything and everyone is a suspect. And so for you to be able to protect yourself and save yourself, you need to just avoid. Now, there are situations where people actually need help. But how do you differentiate? Can someone create an AI where like, oh, this person is actually real.
Situational assessment.
How do we know? Right? So I think we're broken and it's not our fault.
So
if we have better
right.
security in the country, if we have, you know, we know that we're protected, we will not be afraid to help others. But strategies now that Nigerians will put in place to come and capture you, there are too plenty.
We used to be communal people. What changed? And is this a big city problem or is it a national problem? Because the situation of Dare, if multiple cars had waited to offer support, something could have been done about the car. The issue of the Bumpa CEO, if the lady who hit him had taken responsibility and taken action immediately, it could have been saved.
And if the first hospital they got to did
had
something.
also done something, you know, it could have been saved. So these are situations where there are no security implications for the people supporting. So as much as we are meant to protect ourselves and do situational assessment before offering support, we also need to be empathetic and say, okay, because it didn't used to be like that. Like before, if you shout alone, like 20 neighbors are out to support you. Now, if you shout, everybody's minding their business. I mean, the apartment I live in caught fire one time, 9 blocks of apartments. No one remembered to even check all the other apartments to confirm if there was anyone inside. It was because I had it, and we don't even have one another's number, but the security man had it, but he didn't call anybody.
Wow.
It was another neighbor that we used to work together that called, are you in the building? The apartment is on fire.
Wow.
So we had a lot of neighbors. Everybody came out recording.
And nobody even has anybody's number. And this is like an apartment.
It's an apartment.
Bro.
So I think we
crazy.
Imported so much individualism
man.
that, you know, it's kind of like eroding our culture. We all need to do better.
It's crazy how we follow each other on Instagram, but we don't have each other's number. We live in the same neighborhood.
Did we import it or
it is what it is.
Imposed on us, as Bright has said?
You know,
Let's see what Funke has
Law
to say.
enforcement, criminals, it's so complicated. Like, have you tried saving an accident victim before? I'm a medical doctor, I know what people go through. You know, they bring people, mass casualties sometimes, they would literally dump them and run away. That's the best they can do. They don't even want to stay and start answering any questions.
because they don't know.
Yeah, no, what I mean is once law enforcement gets to know, they keep them.
Yeah.
We've lost so many people to that because people are just afraid. Because once police gets involved, you are the first, they will not release you until they so-called get to the bottom of the matter. It's a big problem.
If we want this change, we have to get the police, the Nigeria police, to resensitize their men to not make victims of those who of good Samaritans. That's number one. But I'll return to what I see as a recurrent comment here at the table regarding this advocacy, and it's this sense of community that we've lost. What I wrote here is that this is how the African society, African societies, through globalization, have lost that sense of community. We always want to be like the Joneses in Europe, in America, and other places of the world. And so increasingly, we lost our sense of community. That's number one. Number two, former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, former presidential aspirant, wrote in one of our books, it takes a village. It takes a village to not only raise a child, it takes a village to remain cohesive. You cannot see your neighbor or somebody within the society going wrong or facing danger and you move on. The reason why we're having this is partly what you said, that people are afraid of our policemen. Once you do that, you're in trouble, and you doctors as well. once we bring people to you in the hospital, you tie us down, we must pay for this and pay for that. I don't have to pay for that. So the government itself should make provisions for people who are being helped. There should be something in hospitals that will take care of that person until the people who are his relatives come to be.
And this is where health insurance comes.
Yeah, there is a law.
Before I forget, in the case of Dare, so there is this resentment for affluent people in Nigeria.
So for accident victims in public hospitals, so that people need to know this. It's better, there's an act that was signed, a bill was, it captures both private and public, but it's best to just go to a public hospital. They are supposed to be able to give first aid, life-saving care.
Okay, so I repeat, to fix Nigeria, we must first fix how we see and treat one another. This is the ABC of nation building.
Perhaps we won't need reminding when we begin to see ourselves as the royalty that we are. I'll be holding up the mirror for all of us.